Welcome to the Realtor Who Wines podcast. I'm Rashelle Newmeyer, your hostess with the mostest, a student of life, a connector, a passionate wine enthusiast, and your local favorite guide. Join me as we explore the vibrant Pacific Northwest, savor the finest wines, and champion the spirit of entrepreneurship. Each episode, I'll sit down with inspiring guests, supporting business ownership, and uncovering the stories that make this community unique. So grab a glass of wine, settle in, and let's embark on a journey of discovery and connection together. Cheers! Well, we have been telling you that we were going to head to DC for the legislative meeting. So we are currently in DC. It is June 14th, 2026. And I'm so excited to be here, not only just to go to the Capitol visit, but then I get to see some of my good friends that I don't always get to see in person. So I can't wait for you to introduce yourself to everybody. But first, I'd like to cheers to you.
Cheers.
Thanks for making time for me. I appreciate it.
I'm so honored to be here. I've been watching you and I'm excited and honored that you asked me to join you on this podcast.
Yeah, will you introduce yourself to everybody?
Hello everyone, my name is Miesha Stanley. I am a realtor in New Jersey, Hamilton, Trenton, Mercer County area. I am the Women's Council New Jersey State Liaison. I am a part of the Mid-Jersey Association. And I enjoy what I do.
Yeah. So we met in 23.
23.
Yeah.
Yep.
We became friends in 23. We were both presidents for our local networks at the Women's Council of Realtors. And we met at, basically it's like our leadership training. It's one weekend in Chicago where you really get in the weeds of it. And we just clicked and hit it off and have been friends ever since.
Ever since.
Yeah.
I feel like Women's Council is a sisterhood. And the fact that we get to come here every May, June and reconnect and just seems like we pick up right where we left off. I love it. Yeah.
I think our relationship is a good example of like people, I don't know if they ask you this back in Jersey or not, but in Oregon I get asked all the time like, why are you involved, or like, why do you volunteer so much time to be around other realtors? Like, that's your competition. And I don't think they realize like not only the work we do behind the scenes, but then the relationships developed and the camaraderie that we have amongst each other.
People buy people before they buy products and services. And when you're building relationships, I tell people in New Jersey, I can pick up the phone and call a great realtor anywhere in the USA.
Yeah.
And I always mention you. I mention my sisters who I've met in Women's Council and that I know are doing good business.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about.
Totally. Well, and what's nice too is like we genuinely know each other. So like when I say like, oh, I know someone in New Jersey that can take care of you, I mean it. It's not just I looked on my company's website and was like, who's in Jersey? Oh, this person. Okay, I'm going to tell you to go work with this person. Like we genuinely know tons of realtors throughout this, like the United States, where we can partner you. And even if I know someone that's moving to Jersey and it's not your area, I trust that you know somebody else in Jersey that would help them if they were moving to a different part that you don't serve.
For sure.
And I just think that's so cool. Talk a little bit about your journey in real estate. What made you want to dabble in real estate?
So funny story is I've moved around a lot. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, born and raised, was there all my life. My husband took a job. They asked him if he wanted to relocate, and we moved to Charlotte area. We lived in South Carolina, but we worked right across the bridge. I actually interviewed with Keller Williams about 12 years ago. Never did anything with it. I was in sales. I worked in commercial cleaning. Moved to San Francisco because of his job. Our realtor was great. We became friends. She was like, you be good. So I started self-paced, taking the class.
That's how a lot of people start.
Not good. I'm not a self-paced. I need an
Don't recommend. 0 stars.
So, but COVID hit, right? So 3 years we were almost in San Francisco to the day. COVID hit 2.5. And so I got really busy with the type of work that I was doing. And I never finished. So when we moved to Jersey, our realtor, again, another great realtor, she's like, you be good at this. And I was like, okay.
You're the third person.
Right, okay. So because of how we move around, when we have 90 days when we move, we get a week to go to the place and find somewhere to live on the company's dime. And we've met some really great realtors. And I was like, I like this.
Yeah.
So my now broker called me on a Thursday. Now, mind you, I didn't do anything for a year because I had custody of my nephews, and that was really tough, and so I needed time.
Yeah.
So she called me after she knew they were going and said, there's a class starting on Thursday.
Or it was Thursday, and it started Monday.
It was Thursday. Yes, it was Thursday, and she said, there's a class starting on Monday. Are you going to register? And I was like, what?
That's so funny. Yeah.
And so I did. I hung up with her. I called and registered. I had my book on Saturday, and I was in class on Monday.
I love
and
that.
so the rest is history. And I tell anyone, now that I'm in it, I'm so mad at myself for not
waiting.
starting sooner, because I love it that much.
Yeah.
I love it that much.
Yeah. And it just provides so much. Like, I've always enjoyed, even when in my sales journey, one of the companies I worked for at the time was a jewelry. And so most people buy jewelry for big moments. And I just love being a part of people's big moments. And you don't have too many big moments like buying real estate. And so, and it's stressful. And I like being that sound person in the stressful, in the storm. Like, they're in a storm, and I'm like, it's fine. Yes. I'm the lighthouse. Move this way. Yep. Everything's okay.
Let me do the worrying.
Yeah.
You just just start packing.
Yeah.
And we're going to get you there.
Yeah, I love being a part of that journey. What has been some of the learning curves that you've had over the last few years in your real estate career?
So for me, learning the areas.
Oh, sure, because you're also new to the area.
Because I'm new to the area, so if I'm at an open house and someone's like, I live over here, I have to, I don't know where that's at, but I have to act like I do and then learn about it. So being
it's a delicate dance, because you're like, well, I don't want to lie, but I don't want them to think I don't know anything.
Yes.
So it's just like, oh, great. And then you Google, dear Google, where is blah, blah, blah street? Yeah.
Yes. So I feel, and right now I'm working with 2 sets of buyers. That's 40 minutes, almost to an hour in an area that I'm not familiar with. I didn't want to, so I'm learning that area.
Yeah.
It's a new market. And that's what we have to be able to pivot, adapt, learn and grow, keep growing.
Well, notice the cool thing about our job is the contract is the same no matter what area you're in. So the nitty gritty, the part that's important, the part that protects you, which is what we do, is the negotiating, the contract writing. So do you know the best grocery store in the area? Not yet. Right. But that stuff you could help them discover together.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you're still protecting one of the most biggest assets that they'll ever have in their life. And no matter where they're shopping, you can guide them on that.
Correct.
So that's, But I think you are a great example, because a lot of people are like, well, I would get into real estate, but I didn't grow up here. Or I would get into real estate, but I've only lived here for 10 years. And you're like, you moved to a new town and got into real estate right away. Ish.
There's a seasoned lady in our office that I admire so much. Her husband has been a realtor and an instructor for over 40 years. She's 78 years old.
I love it.
And she is amazing. And, if I look at her, she wants to grow her business, and she's doing all of the things to get her name out there and learn. She just started 2 years ago. And I try and help her as much as I can with the MLS, the technology piece aspect of it. But when you look at someone her age and you think about the fear, my saying as I've moved around to different places has been, do it afraid and get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because I've been very uncomfortable since I left Cleveland. I've had to start over everywhere I've gone, Charlotte, San Francisco, Jersey. I had to find, a job where his job has transferred. I had to start fresh.
Well, and you had a kiddo along the way too, and like, so you're helping your son adjust. You're also looking for friends. Like, it's more than just setting a career. It's building community everywhere you go.
It is. It is.
I love that too. You bring up a good point about like in our industry, and this isn't the case in all industries. You can be 18. Or you can be 78, you can be 82. Like, there's a place for you in this industry if you're willing to learn and adapt to, like, the contracts and the changes that happen that way. But as long as you can study the material and adapt, you can be successful in this industry.
It's so true. I can remember finishing up our Power Up training session. That's our Weichert training as a new agent. And my first open house, it took me like 2 hours to do a marketing flyer that takes me 5 minutes now.
Oh, yeah.
So we just have to keep showing up. Just keep doing the work.
It's the same even with like writing a contract. I remember the very first like real contract I wrote, because a lot of brokerages will have you practice, and like even like your local or state association sometimes can help with training. But I remember having kind of like a key that was like a mock contract.
I did too.
And like, or an offer. And so I was just like, is it a deed or not? Oh, yeah, a deed. Okay. And then, and stuff. And now, and I remember my first offer probably took 2 hours. And now I can write one in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Or less, depending on the details of the offer.
I think real estate, we take the classes, we take that god-awful exam. God awful.
We were both just complaining about this at dinner. Yeah.
God awful. But the real work starts when you're doing the bit. You learn the business while you're doing it.
Yeah.
It's a hands-on type of business.
Yeah.
You're not learning it from the book.
Yeah, well, and that's why it's so important to find people to shadow, to go to the trainings, to participate. When you don't have clients, a lot of people wait until they have clients to practice, and you don't want to do that, because you want to be ready to go when you have clients.
Yeah.
And again, this is a huge purchase for somebody. You don't want to mess up because you waited until you actually had a client to learn what you should be doing.
I'm nervous for new realtors who are with the online company that can't go in and see what's going on and listen to the lingo, hear the conversations, the deals that are happening. I don't know that I would have been as successful as I am. The way I learn, I wouldn't.
Well, and there's nothing wrong. And so, for those of you that aren't in real estate and might not know what she's referring to, is like we have brick and mortar offices. So, like a Keller Williams most likely has an office. Coldwell Banker has an office. But there are some online brokerages that have lower fees for realtors because they also don't have the in-person office. They also serve their purpose in other ways. Yeah. But when you're a brand new agent, you don't know what you don't know. So when you're sitting in an office and you do overhear a conversation, you're like, that's a thing. I need to know about septic tanks. I live in the city, but so does he. Why is he talking about septic tanks? Things like that. Like, you wouldn't even think to learn stuff like that until you are exposed to it.
Yeah. Yeah, underground fuel tanks is a thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I had my first removal, so I've had 2 now. So the first one I was freaking out because I didn't know.
Yeah.
So when the second one came up, I was like, it'll be fine.
Well,
we're going to have it removed. It's not a reason to cancel the contract. So when you have these instances that come up.
Because the East Coast is older than the West Coast, and oil tanks were a
Trenton
major
is
thing.
a very old town, 1900, 1925. So narrow steps,
sure,
some
all
different
those things
that I'm not used to.
For those that don't know your area, what's about the average price point right now in your area?
So the median price point is about $460. Taxes. One thing that I was surprised about coming from San Francisco was the taxes. Taxes are high in New Jersey.
Oh, really?
Our taxes might be a little bit higher in bigger homes than what we have in San Francisco, but the taxes are crazy high.
Interesting.
So different counties, Trenton naturally is lower, Mercer is high, and then you have Burlington that might be a little bit, you can get more. But
Sure.
yeah, I was surprised by that.
Interesting. What other taxes do you guys have? Like, does New Jersey primarily get money through property tax, or like we don't have sales tax in Oregon, so
no,
we
have
do
sales
have
tax,
like
yeah.
decent property tax as well, but it's because we also don't have sales tax and stuff. What other taxes do you guys have?
So sales tax, property tax,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you have a high income tax or low income? Do you know?
Ooh, I don't know.
Yeah, we're 1099, so our taxes are a little different. Interesting. Well, most recently, I mean, he's been doing it for 2 years now. Your son?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have to, honorable mention, we have to talk about him. How has it been bringing your son into the business?
So I love it. So when we left Cleveland, my son was a freshman in college. So he's been on his own since then.
Sure.
So he hasn't lived at home, but now, over the past 2 years, and I had been he hated his job. He was a accounting major, and I said, you could sell. He's a true entrepreneur at heart.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and so I've been telling him to, come and do real estate with me, and I had never showed him a commission check, and I showed him one check. He was like, okay, I'm gonna book a flight, and he came out, he took the class. I mean, within 30 days, his friends couldn't believe how fast it happened.
Well, he's a hard worker. I would say, just in case anybody's listening that wants to get into real estate, that doesn't happen for everybody, and it doesn't happen without hard work. Like, he is a nose to the grind, like, get it done kind of guy.
He is. He has great work ethic. He's very detail-oriented and organized, and he did better his first year than I did in my first year from right out of the gate.
Sure.
But I absolutely love working with him. We're like freaking, what is it? We argue.
Oh my gosh.
Back and forth. He thinks he knows more than me.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, that's like most kid-parent dynamic. Yeah.
So.
Rylan tells me what's up all the time, and I'm like, you're 10. Can you just trust I might know a little bit more than you?
Right. Not that I've been doing this that long.
Sure.
But
you also
I've
have
been coming up
a ton of work experience outside of real estate. And because you're his mom, you've been alive longer than him, so your experience is faster than his. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Will you, I hope he doesn't care, but will you, one, say his name, and then also his age? Because I kind of want people to know, like, you can make a career at this younger, too.
So, CEO Des, or Desmond Stanley, with the incubator CLE. Follow him on social media. He is a social media digital marketing content creator. And he is 30 years old. Just, 30 years old.
Yeah.
And
I think it's important. He does really great with his content. And he is out there educating other younger realtors too, because the average age in our industry is like, what would you say it is? I'd say 50s. Like,
you think it's that old?
I don't know. Dear Google, I don't have my phone on me, but I think we should. Yeah, will you Google that?
Fact check that.
Yeah, fact check. But I think it's like low 50s.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm right on target then.
Nailed it. Do you know?
I'm right on target. But I wish I had started like 20 years.
Oh, for sure.
20 years younger.
Yeah.
So my goal right now is to be able to go in and speak to juniors and seniors in high school.
Yes. Yeah.
And talk to them a little bit.
Am I right?
55 to 60.
See? That's the average age. And people think like some younger kid, like in their 20s, think, well, I'm too young. My sphere isn't buying houses, so who am I going to sell houses to? And then by the time you're in your 30s, you're like, well, I should have started already. I'm too old to start. And the point is, no, you're not.
Did you know the ratio of genders, too?
Sure.
62 to 65 of agents are female.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah.
I thought it was more women than it was.
Yeah.
I thought it was higher.
We do have... So I don't know if anybody heard that because Jasmine doesn't have a mic on, but there's more women in real estate than men. And because of that, people always say to me, I don't know if you've had to explain this or articulate it to anybody, like, what's the point of Women's Council of Realtors? clearly you're allowed to be in real estate. What's going on? So over half of realtors are females, but it's like 3% that own and run broker, or 3% that own brokerages, and then it's like 16% or something. You can fact check me. Jasmine's already doing it, but it's like that broker female owners. I think it's 3. The last time I checked, it was around 3%.
Wow.
And then in leadership that like run brokerages or hold, like even NAR, for example, has had only like 10 female presidents to all the other presidents. Wow. And so, I mean, we couldn't even get mortgages until 1976 without a male signature. So Women's Council still serves its purpose as it's elevating women in real estate and teaching them the leadership skills so that we can have more women leaders within the real estate industry, which we should, since we actually hold over half of the licenses.
And one thing about Women's Council that I didn't know and found to be very interesting is that a man is the one who said we should start Women's Council because we weren't being paid what we were worth.
Yeah.
And that was how Women's Council came about.
Are you a first-time home buyer? You don't need to be perfect. You don't have to have perfect credit or a giant down payment. You just need a plan and someone that understands the business and how to navigate it. Please reach out. I would love to help you on this home journey.
Okay, I grabbed my phone so I could pull the number because I keep it saved. This is from a presentation I did in 25 actually. And at that time, 23% of licensed realtors who were female led brokerages. 6% were brokerage owners. So that's why we need Women's Council. 7 out of the last 116 NAR presidents were female. So only 7 out of 116, except Christine Hansen, who will be president next year. And she's Women's Council, by the way. So shout out to Christine. We love Christine. But that's why Women's Council has its place and its purpose. It's not to allow us to be realtors. It's to elevate us within real estate, within leadership, and give opportunities and stuff.
I love Women's Council. I see the growth professionally and personally since I've become involved with it. I wouldn't have considered myself being a leader. So for being tapped on I got involved, I was tapped on the shoulder, and it has happened rapidly. And I'm so glad that I said yes. That's why I've been saying do it afraid. You know, sometimes people don't want to take action. They feel like they're, not qualified to do something, but we just have to step out and try and
our current Portland network president, Whitney, she was at a Women's Council meeting. It was her leadership training at Network 360, and someone in the room said, no one in this room is going to let you fail. Because a lot of us are tapped on the shoulder or involuntold, like, we need you here, get here. And we go afraid, like, did you guys mean to tap me? Were you reaching for somebody else and my shoulder got bumped? Like, what happened? How am I here? And that happens to all of us. But that woman that said that in Whitney's group, that is so true. And Whitney likes to point that out to everybody, because someone saying no one's going to let you fail here, that's not just true within Women's Council. Your local association feels that way. Your state association feels that way. There is so much more support within real estate in general that people don't realize. And we were talking about that earlier. Like, you can be competitive. I'm a competitive person.
Very.
But you can also be supportive. Like, I more compete with myself. Like, how many families do I want to help this year? How many people do I want to help with home ownership? And sometimes my goals have nothing to do with real estate. Trying to get Rylan to Tokyo. That's a big one. That keeps popping up. I was telling you at dinner, she's told me all about when are we going to Tokyo. But I compete with myself. But that doesn't mean I can't be supportive and collaborative and also help mentor or be mentored in this journey and throughout this industry.
We're always going to be growing.
Sure,
I mean, even as adults, we have to be open to receive constructive criticism and, be able to look in the mirror sometimes and just be open. I mean.
Is there any advice that you wish someone would have gave you your first year, now that you've been doing it for a while?
That's a good question. Any advice?
I think for me it would be ask more questions. I think we're always nervous to ask too many questions. Like,
of other people in real estate. Like when you're mentoring and learning, we try to self-discover. And especially, we were talking about this earlier with ChatGPT and Googling and stuff. You don't even know if all the information you're reading is right, but you're just like, oh, sure, this is it. Like, so just asking more questions of like people that are doing it. Like my first couple of years, I tried to be like, I'll do it myself. I'll figure it out. And now I'm like, even stuff I know, I'll still call and be like, just let me ask this question. A fire door. Is that going to get called out in appraisal? And normally they're like, yes. I'm like, I knew it. Okay, yeah, I knew it. Thank you. Perimenopause brain. Love you. Bye. You know, like,
the perimenopause is so real. It's so real.
It's so
my
real.
Goodness.
Yeah. Does anything stand out to you that you wish you would have known or asked about?
Just for me, because I'm quiet. I don't ask questions until I'm in something. So probably for me is to not be afraid to ask the question and not be afraid to be in the room.
Yeah.
If you were asked to be in that room, somebody saw something in you that you didn't see in yourself, and don't question it. Yeah. I'm always questioning myself as to, do I belong here?
Yeah.
You belong. You belong.
Yeah. With the legislative meetings and being here in DC, how was your first experience in DC? Like, was there anything about coming to your first DC meeting that like just kind of blew you away or made you be like, oh, this is it. I'm going to keep doing this?
Everything. I mean, I didn't know that it was so many layers to real estate.
Totally.
You know, we bought and sold every time we've moved around.
Sure.
And it's totally different being on this side of it. And so coming, sitting in on the general sessions, being, listening in, and then the Women's Council, seeing the different networks. And we have 7 networks in New Jersey, but we're small. So to see like Florida,
oh my gosh,
Women's Council,
Texas, California.
Vegas.
Oh, Vegas, yeah.
And to see the bigger picture,
for sure.
That was what sold me on applying for leadership and getting more involved. And so 4 years, like most people think, like even you said it, you've only been, it'll be 4 years in November. But because,
I can't believe that, just because you have already done so much leadership, and a lot of times it does take people like 5 years in the industry to even think about volunteering at an event. And you jumped right into leadership, partly because you had the support and was like invited. Yeah. But also I like that you went for it. And you're probably a better realtor and doing more business right now because you jumped into leadership right away and was exposed to so much right away.
But here's the thing, what I see. I come from a association where we have 7,700 members about. You see the same people. Where is everyone at? Like when you're going to the different events, you see the same leaders, the same. Yeah. So why? I just wonder why is that? Because they're not. Yeah. I don't know if they feel like they don't belong. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I think part of it is our association's also about that. I think we're between 75 and 8,000. It keeps going back and forth. But I would say about the same 20% is heavily involved and knows what's going on. Yeah. And I sometimes when I'm working a deal with the other realtor, like they're either on the buy side or the sell side, I can tell that they're not at a brokerage that has guided them a lot, or I can tell that they have not attended a ton of trainings. Yeah. Because there's been times where I had to be like, you filled out the contract wrong. Can I help you? And like, you can only help them so much when you're working the other side because you're advocating for your client. But like, I'm not going to be a jerk. Like, you really need to check this box, or you don't represent these people. This part where it says you're representing the buyer, you want to check that. Make sure you check that one. And then, and walk them through it. But part of it is they don't come to stuff. And some of them, honestly, they just don't open emails. They don't pay attention to the social. They probably don't even follow their local association or the state association or any of the affinity groups like Women's Council. So they're just out there afloat.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to, bash anyone, but I think when you're more involved with your association, with different networking events, you're more exposed, you're learning things, and you are able to advocate for your clients and just do better.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, and my goal is never to put anybody down, but it just shows, right? Like you can tell when certain people have not gone to certain trainings or done stuff. And in fact, the contracts change all the time.
Yeah.
And you can tell right away when someone sends you a contract that's 3 years old. And you're like, half of this doesn't apply anymore. You need to be using the most current contract and stuff. And we were talking about the buyer broker agreement earlier too, and a lot of agents that are still struggling with that, which to me, I don't understand it because it's just part of the everyday deal for me. I don't even think twice about it.
So I started right when that was happening, and my broker had taught, it's never been an issue for me.
Sure.
Because I was taught to do that before it was mandatory. And so when an agent calls and asks me, is your seller offering buyer's compensation? I'm like,
that's not a conversation anymore.
Why are we still doing this?
Yeah, because now for those of you not in real estate that are listening, now if you write an offer on a house, it's part of the contract. If you want the seller to pay your buyer's agent fee, it's part of the contract. Before the lawsuits that took place and before a big shift happened a few years ago, it would be pre-negotiated by the listing agent. So when I would sit down with the seller, I would say, this is my fee. I give this much to the buy side to attract buyers and buyer's agents to want to see your property. I use this amount of your fee on marketing, and this is what I pay to my brokerage, and this is what I pay Uncle Sam, and then this is what I feed my family with, kind of a thing is how you'd break it down. Now, when you meet with a seller, you're just talking about your services and your fee, and you do prepare them that will probably get asked. You might get asked for closing costs when we see offers. You might get asked to pay the buyer's agent fee, especially if they're first-time home buyers. They don't have as much saved up. They don't have equity that they're using to purchase a home. So it's just a different conversation, but so many agents are still not having any of the conversations.
At all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buying a house without a strategy is like grocery shopping hungry. You're going to make emotional decisions and you might regret it. Don't regret it. Call me. I'll bring the list and the strategy. Let's buy this house together.
Come here to the legislative meetings. It's just jam-packed. We're in like sessions the whole time. We're going to the Hill. We're doing visits. And so I really appreciate you. Not only we got to have dinner tonight, which was lovely to get to catch up on life and things, but to also be on the podcast. So I really appreciate that.
And this is my first year being able to come this early.
Yeah,
because I normally come strictly for Women's Council, which is starting tomorrow or Tuesday for some people, but because I'm on a NAR committee this year, I had a meeting today. So
which committee are you on?
So I am on the AEC Leadership Advisory Board. And
for anyone listening that doesn't know what that does, like what that board does, what kind of things are you trying to accomplish with that board?
So we are making sure that the website for NAR, you're going to have to edit this. Let me get this right.
Yeah.
So we are making sure that the leadership website, we're trying to figure out how associations are getting their leaders.
Yeah.
Like, what's the process? How much money is being spent on that?
Oh, sure.
Making sure that the toolkit is updated and
all the
effective.
resources.
Yeah. So
I think we hadn't talked about this, but I don't think one thing a lot of realtors don't know when you're not involved in leadership or don't even really know that much about the National Association of Realtors is one, you should go check out their website. If you're not paying attention to what NAR is doing or what they offer, there's so many tools. If you don't know how to explain the buyer broker agreement, there's a lot of tools on the NAR website that'll help you, your local association, state association. But a lot of decisions made for NAR are through committees full of people from all over the United States and different markets and different size markets, having a voice, coming to the table, talking about, hey, NAR, we would like to see this. Or like how you guys are vetting how the leadership is made at the different local levels. there's so many committees and there's so many ways to get involved. And sometimes you're on a committee and you do get to talk, or sometimes you're there to listen and help take information back. But both ways are like super important. So
true.
That's just like another way. When you said committee, I was like, oh, I wonder if people even realize they can be on committees.
I didn't know.
Well, how would you? You don't know what you don't
know about this much of being let me start over. You don't, when I say how many layers it is to real estate, like had I not come to DC, I would not have known a bunch of this stuff.
Yeah.
So
my first trip to DC was a huge eye-opener for that same reason. The different layers to Women's Council, but then the different layers to NAR. And then even our local and state associations are here. And even I was like, oh, Oregon Realtors does that? I had no idea. And then I felt like an idiot for not knowing. But then at the same time, knowledge is power. So like I just learned more. And every year I come back, I learn more and more.
And I feel like realtors are so busy trying to grow their business that they don't take a step out to see what this is about.
Yeah.
And so I feel like you grow your business by coming here because I'm educating myself, which means I'm going to be a better resource for my clients.
Absolutely.
And for other agents as well.
Well, and it says something, we were talking again about this earlier today. It says something when you can look your client in the eye and say, I care so much about you having a home and people having a home in general, that once a year I travel to DC with my local association and my state association, my Women's Council, and we go to the Hill and talk to legislation about home ownership needs in our state. You go and talk to about Jersey, we go and talk about Oregon. We bring real life examples of like, this is what's going on with Oregon. I had a client that couldn't do XYZ because of this rule. And now that this new bill is coming, if that happens, these clients can't buy. Or if you do sign this, these clients will be able to buy. Like, so not only do I care about home ownership on a small level of like I sell real estate, we're actually here trying to move the needle to empower political stance to like make a change that'll help people be able to buy homes in the areas that we serve.
Like today, hearing them talk about the capital gains tax.
Yeah. Oh man. I have a client right now that's being impacted by that because her husband and her bought a house 35 years ago for $60,000. And that same house today is worth around $750,000, $800,000. It's on acreage. It's on a Christmas tree farm. Her husband passed away. She didn't sell in the allotted time that you have. You have to sell the first 2 years to still qualify as a couple. So now she only qualifies as herself. The amount of gain that she's going to lose because of that rule, I was like, it doesn't make sense for you to sell this house. Like, I would rent it out. Because she's moving in with family anyways. I was like, I would rent it out, use that money as your income, and give it to your kids after because you're going to lose over half your equity.
And that's a great realtor. You could have easily tried to persuade her into selling that home.
I'm like, ooh, $750, yeah, awesome. Yeah. But no, I was like, this doesn't benefit you at all. This is terrible. And this is why I go to the Capitol every year because we're trying to change that rule so that you get to keep more of your home equity and then you can put your house on the market for a growing family that wants a house like yours now that you're downsizing. So those are the kinds of things that we're doing here. And so when realtors are like, I can't believe you take time away from your business, or like, how will that help my business? People being able to buy homes actually helps you in your business. And we're helping do that by being here. So I just adore you. I'm so happy we got to spend time together. And I got to share some Oregon wine with you, which is fun.
Very good. Thank you so
what
much.
do you think about it?
It's good.
This is from Wild Roots. They're actually local to Oregon, but they're mostly known for like vodkas and liquors. And I just started dabbling in wine. And I had this for the first time I don't know, 6 months ago, and I was like, okay, Wild Roots.
I will buy that.
Yeah, we're having the rosé today. It's hot here. My Pacific Northwest girl is showing. I'm like, my hair's getting huge. I'm very warm.
It's humid. It's 90 degrees.
Yeah, so chilled wine is the only way to go right now. Right. Yes. And when you're the Realtor Who Wines, you have to bring wine with you wherever you go. I love it. So thank you so much. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you thinking of me. Cheers.
Of course. Thank you so much for tuning in while we're here in DC. I look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks for listening. Bye.